Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're unpacking a really fascinating psychological concept. We are going to look at exactly how someone goes from being an ignored people pleaser to an absolute commanding presence. Let's just dive right into it. You know those people who walk into a room and instantly, literally without saying a single word, the entire vibe shifts? Everyone just pays attention? But then, on the flip side, some people can try so incredibly hard and still just remain completely invisible. Well, today, we're unpacking the dark psychology behind why that happens and exactly how you can build what's known as an unwavering aura. So there's this really stark contrast between having a weak aura and a ruthless presence. If you look on the left, we've got the classic weak aura, someone who is overly accommodating, always smiling, desperately trying to be liked by literally everyone. And the harsh truth? Trying that hard actually makes you come off as cheap to other people. It makes you easily crushed by the world because people mistake that extreme, constant kindness for weakness. But then, look on the right. The ruthless presence. This is the person who silently commands the room. They're mysterious, they're deeply respected, and people just subconsciously defer to their decisions. It's totally not about being loud or aggressive. It's entirely about the internal psychological force you project outward. Here is our quick roadmap for today's Explainer. First, we'll cover weak versus strong presence. Second, Machiavelli's philosophy. Third, rules 1 through 3. Fourth, rules 4 through 6. And finally, wrapping up with your new invincible form. All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, weak versus strong presence. You have to understand that an unwavering aura is absolutely crucial because honestly, human nature can be a bit predatory. It's kind of like a hunter mindset out there. When you're too soft or way too available or just easily readable, people won't think twice about stepping on you. But this unwavering aura, it acts like an invisible psychological force field. It's super calm, it's deeply rooted, and it uses human psychology to build this incredible sense of mystery around you. When you stop nervously smiling just to please the room and instead project this heavy, calm stillness, people can't quite gauge your true strength. And that unknown factor, it naturally generates a tiny bit of fear and a massive amount of deep respect. Which perfectly tees up Section 2, Machiavelli's philosophy on respect and fear. The whole philosophical backbone of what we're talking about today really comes down to this one famous quote. It is much safer to be feared and respected than to be loved. Machiavelli hit the nail on the head here. He noticed that love is actually a super fragile emotion. It's almost entirely based on self-interest, right? People will drop their love for you the second their own needs change. But respect and a very calculated, subtle degree of fear, those things are permanent. They lock down your psychological borders. Your goal in life shouldn't be to have everyone universally love you. Your goal is to protect your personal sovereignty so that nobody ever takes you for granted. Okay, let's get into the actual playbook. Section 3, rules 1 through 3, focusing on composure and control. First up, rule 1 is the steady gaze. Look, if you're constantly blinking or your eyes are darting all over the room, or you immediately look away when someone talks to you, you are instantly broadcasting anxiety. You're signaling internal weakness and fear. Instead, you've got to practice looking directly and calmly right into people's eyes. A steady, unflinching gaze applies immense psychological pressure. It silently screams that you are not intimidated by a single thing in your environment. Honestly, mastering this unwavering eye contact is the absolute foundation of a powerful presence. Moving on to Rule 2, controlled movements. Listen, rushing is pretty much the ultimate sign of a cheap, anxious mind. Have you ever noticed how really nervous people talk way too fast? They make all these jerky, unnecessary movements, and they just fill every quiet second with meaningless filler words. If you want to project power, you have to slow down, move deliberately, speak slowly. Try taking strategic small pauses before you answer a question. You want to make every single word carry real weight. When you deliberately move and speak with that kind of calm control, you literally force everyone else in the room to slow down their own pacing and listen intently to you. Now, I want to pause for a second and ask you this directly. Really think about it. How do you react to cheap insults? When someone subtly provokes you, do you instantly snap back? Do you get all defensive and visibly angry? Keep your answer in mind, because how you handle this dictates your actual level of power. And that brings us right to Rule 3, the power of silence. This is basically game theory 101. The person who successfully hides their true intentions controls the entire board.
If you react angrily to some cheap little insult, you have literally just handed your power over on a silver platter. You've shown them they hold the remote control to your emotions. So what do instead? You deploy the poker face. Swallow that emotional reaction. If someone provokes you, meet it with total, absolute silence. Or even better, just a very slight, knowing smile. This kind of absolute non-reactivity completely short-circuits your opponent's brain. It mentally paralyzes them and establishes you as the unquestionable master of the situation.
All right, let's keep the momentum going. Section 4, Rules 4 through 6, all about boundaries and body language. Rule 4 is the scarcity of presence. Look, if you are always available to anyone, anytime, anywhere, your perceived value absolutely plummets. It's just basic economics applied straight to human psychology. Being overly available totally kills respect. If you look at historical leaders, the great conquerors, they didn't just hang out and blend into the crowd. They maintained a very strategic, mysterious isolation. You have to build a high-value world for yourself and only step out of it for things that actually matter. If you force people to wait for your presence, I guarantee you they are going to value it tenfold when they finally get it. Rule 5 is unshakable body language. You've got to stop the fidgeting. No more shaking your leg or tapping your hands when you're sitting down. Whether you are sitting or standing, keep your posture completely straight, broaden your shoulders, and keep your chest out. Your body language should be subconsciously broadcasting to everyone in that room that you completely own the space. Every single atom of your physical presence needs to communicate that you are the sole owner, the one fully in control of the room you're standing in. Rule 6 might actually be the most practical one of all, the art of no. You have to get comfortable declining cheap, unjust, or just plain unwanted requests. Do it directly and do it calmly. And here is the real secret sauce here. Do it without offering a single excuse or explanation. Think about it. Excuses just sound like apologies, and apologies signal weakness. When you can look someone in the eye and say no without an ounce of guilt, people instantly realize your boundaries are set in stone. They learn immediately that you can't be manipulated, and they learn to respect you. Finally, we reach our last stop. Section 5, your new invincible form. Now, hearing all this, you might be wondering, okay, does doing all this stuff make me a bad person? Does it make me cruel? And the answer is absolutely not. Building this unwavering, ruthless aura is not about being mean to people. It's actually about reaching the absolute peak of self-respect. It means you're no longer relying on the cheap praise or the fleeting opinions of the crowd around you. You basically become the sole king and the guard of your own personal empire. Your seriousness becomes your biggest shield. Your time, your intellect, and your attention, those become VIP access only, reserved exclusively for people who recognize their true value. Everyone else? They just have to prove themselves to you. So let me leave you with this final, lingering thought. Are you ready to be invincible? It is time to break out of that restrictive little cage of being too nice just for the sake of being liked, a habit that, let's be real, usually just leaves you feeling used and cheated anyway. Let the world actually see your strength. Remember that your silence, your steady gaze, and your unwavering aura are literally the greatest weapons you possess to achieve your goals and truly stand out. Apply these 6 rules, go clean your empire, and just watch how the world's perception of you transforms overnight. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Start building your unwavering personality right now, stay focused, and stay invincible.